It started with small things, forgetting a name that was right on the tip of her tongue, walking into a room and having no idea why she was there. For Eleanor, a vibrant woman in her early 70s, these weren't just senior moments. They were the first signs of a fog she refused to let roll in. Our memories are what make us who we are. The idea of losing those memories piece by piece felt like losing herself. The fear of cognitive decline is real, and it's a fear the media often blows up, making us feel like it's just an unavoidable part of getting older. But Eleanor wasn't buying it. She refused to believe her sharp, curious mind was destined to fade away. This wasn't just wishful thinking. It was the start of a mission, a journey to find the powerful, science-backed secrets that could not only stop the fog, but cut right through it, sharpening her mind for years to come. Her story proves a powerful truth. You have more control over your brain health than you've ever been led to believe. Eleanor's journey didn't start in a doctor's office with a prescription. It started in her own home with a decision. She decided to fight back, not with sketchy miracle cures from the internet, but with real knowledge. She became a student of her own health, digging into the science of the aging brain. What she found wasn't one magic bullet, but a combination of smart choices, a whole-body approach where every small change worked together to make a huge difference. The most hopeful thing she learned, the idea that fueled her whole mission, was this. Dementia isn't a normal part of aging, it's a disease. And while there are no guarantees, you can absolutely take steps to lower your risk and potentially slow its progression. That realization changed everything. It replaced her fear with a sense of control. She went from being a passive worrier to an active warrior for her own mind. Her quest began with the most basic step of all, one that connected her body directly to her brain. The first secret she uncovered was the wild, almost unbelievable power of just putting one foot in front of the other. Like a lot of us, Eleanor's life had gotten more sedentary over the years. The thought of a sweaty gym session just wasn't appealing. But the research she found wasn't about running marathons. It was about consistent, moderate movement. So she made a deal with herself, a 30-minute walk every single day. At first, it was just a walk, but soon she started noticing little shifts. The air felt fresher. Her thoughts seemed to clear up during those walks, and she'd come home feeling energized, not tired. What she was feeling was powerful brain science in action. Regular physical activity is one of the single best things you can do for your memory. When you move, you pump more blood to the brain, delivering a fresh supply of oxygen and nutrients. This movement also helps manage conditions that are big risk factors for memory loss, like high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. What's good for the heart is truly what's good for the brain. But something even more incredible is happening on a microscopic level. Exercise fires up the production of a protein called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain cells. It helps your neurons, the cells responsible for thinking, learning, and memory, grow and stay healthy. So that daily walk wasn't just a walk, it was her tending to the garden of her mind, literally helping her brain grow stronger. Major studies like the U.S. Pointer study funded by the Alzheimer's Association are currently exploring how lifestyle changes, including structured exercise, may significantly help protect thinking skills in older adults at risk. Eleanor didn't need to become some elite athlete. Her commitment to that simple 30-minute walk, sometimes brisk, sometimes relaxed, but always consistent, was the first, biggest step in clearing the fog. As Eleanor felt the boost from her daily walks, she turned her focus to the kitchen. She'd always heard, "You are what you eat," but now she was starting to get it on a neurological level. She discovered that food provides the raw materials our brain uses to build cells, send signals, and protect itself from damage. This wasn't about some miserable, joyless diet. It was about a delicious way of eating that's been linked in major observational studies to a much lower risk of dementia. She started to follow the principles of the MIND diet, a powerful blend of the Mediterranean and DASH diets tailored specifically for brain health. Her first big change was embracing healthy fats, especially omega-3s. She started having fatty fish like salmon or sardines a couple of times a week. These fish are loaded with DHA, an omega-3 that is a primary building block for our brain cells. Think of it this way: you can't build a sturdy house with flimsy materials. DHA gives your brain the high-quality stuff it needs to stay in good repair. Omega-3s also fight inflammation, helping to calm the chronic low-grade inflammation that can damage brain cells over time. Next, Eleanor declared war on boring salads and started building an antioxidant army on her plate. She fell in love with berries, blueberries, strawberries, you name it. These fruits are packed with flavonoids, the natural compounds that give them their bright colors. In the brain, they act like a personal security force, protecting cells from damage caused by oxidative stress, basically, biological rust. She loaded up on dark, leafy greens like spinach and kale, which are powerhouses of nutrients like folate and vitamin K, all linked to slowing cognitive decline. One study even gave people a monthly rebate for buying blueberries. That's how much researchers believe in their power. She also got smarter about her snacks. Instead of processed crackers that cause a blood sugar spike and crash, leaving your brain foggy, she turned to nuts, especially walnuts. Walnuts are a unique source of plant-based omega-3s, protein, and antioxidants. A handful became her go-to afternoon pick-me-up. She also discovered avocados, which are rich in healthy fats that promote good blood flow to the brain. Eleanor didn't have to give up everything she loved. She learned that a little dark chocolate with its own flavonoids can actually be good for blood flow and brain function. She started her day with eggs, a great source of choline, a nutrient the brain uses to make a neurotransmitter essential for memory. Even her morning coffee and tea got a thumbs up from science, as caffeine can help with focus and memory formation. By switching to whole grains like oatmeal and quinoa, she gave her brain a steady supply of its main fuel, glucose, avoiding that classic brain fog from energy slumps. Each meal became an act of defiance against cognitive decline, a delicious step toward a sharper mind. For most of history, we thought the adult brain was pretty much fixed. You got a certain number of brain cells, and that was that. As you aged, they died off, and your mind declined. Eleanor, like most of us, had sort of accepted this grim idea, but the third secret she found was maybe the most hopeful of all. That old idea is a complete myth. Your brain is incredibly adaptable. This ability to change, rewire, and form new connections throughout your entire life is called neuroplasticity. Imagine your brain is a city full of roads. When you do something familiar, you cruise down a well-worn superhighway. It's fast and easy, but when you challenge your brain with something new, you force it to build new roads. It has to forge new pathways, strengthening the connections between brain cells. This is literally what learning looks like on a physical level, and it's the key to keeping your mind sharp. Eleanor realized her brain needed a workout, just like her muscles. And that workout had to be more than the same old crossword puzzle she'd been doing for years. While familiar puzzles are fine, the real magic happens with novelty and challenge. So she decided to do something she'd always wanted to: learn a new language. She downloaded an app and started with just 10 minutes of Italian a day. It was hard. She stumbled over words and struggled with grammar. But that struggle was actually a sign of success. Her brain was working hard, lighting up new areas and building that new network of roads. Next, she dusted off an old set of watercolors. She wasn't trying to become the next Picasso. The goal was the process. Creative hobbies like painting or playing music are fantastic for the brain because they engage multiple systems at once: vision, fine motor skills, planning, and creativity. She also made a point of shaking up her daily routines. She'd take a different route on her walk. She tried brushing her teeth with her non-dominant hand. She'd even try to recall her grocery list from memory before peeking at her notes. Each little thing was a mini workout, a nudge to her brain to stay flexible. Through this, Eleanor discovered that mental stimulation wasn't a chore, it was fun. As she learned new words in Italian and watched a painting come to life, she felt her world get bigger. She was living proof that our brains aren't destined to weaken. They can keep growing as long as we're willing to play and learn. As Eleanor dug deeper, she noticed a pattern. Many of the best brain-boosting activities, like joining a walking group or a book club, had one thing in common: other people. The fourth secret she uncovered was just how critical social connection is. Turns out, our brains are social creatures. We're wired for connection, and becoming isolated as we age can be just as bad for our cognitive health as a poor diet or sitting on the couch all day. Eleanor had always enjoyed her weekly coffee with friends, but now she saw it differently. It wasn't just a nice way to pass the time, it was a core part of her brain health routine. A good conversation is an incredibly complex mental workout. You have to listen, process information, pull up memories, form your own thoughts, and read body language all at the same time. It's a full brain workout disguised as a chat. The science backs this up. Research shows that having strong social ties helps build what's called cognitive reserve. Think of it as a backup generator for your brain. A brain with a strong cognitive reserve is better able to handle the physical changes that come with aging and can keep functioning at a high level for longer. One study in the American Journal of Public Health even found that women with larger social networks had a significantly lower risk of developing dementia. Plus, loneliness is a major risk factor for depression, which can wreak havoc on your memory. Staying socially active helps keep your mood up, creating a positive cycle that benefits your brain. Armed with this knowledge, Eleanor made a real effort to expand her social world. The book club she joined didn't just stimulate her mind. The lively discussions and laughter were a huge boost. She started volunteering at the local library, which put her in contact with people of all ages and gave her a fresh sense of purpose. She scheduled regular video calls with her grandkids, soaking up their stories and staying part of their lives. She learned it wasn't about being a social butterfly, it was about quality. It was about shared laughs, real conversation, and feeling like you belong. In weaving this social safety net, she was making her brain more resilient and engaged. For years, Eleanor just accepted that restless nights were a part of getting older. She'd lie awake for hours, her mind racing, and then feel sluggish the next day. The fifth secret she discovered showed her that this struggle with sleep wasn't just an annoyance, it was a direct threat to her memory. Quality sleep, she learned, isn't a luxury. It's a non-negotiable requirement for a healthy brain. While you're awake, your brain is working hard and producing all sorts of metabolic waste. When you fall into a deep sleep, a remarkable thing happens. A system known as the glymphatic system switches on, acting like the brain's private cleaning crew. It flushes out all those toxins, including beta amyloid, the very same protein that clumps together to form plaques in the brains of people with Alzheimer's. If you don't get enough quality sleep, the cleaning crew can't do its job, and those toxins can build up. But that's not all. Sleep is also when your brain sorts and files memories. It takes the fragile, short-term memories from your day and moves them into more permanent, long-term storage. Without this nightly filing process, memories can easily get lost. This is why even one night of bad sleep can make it harder to focus and remember things the next day. Understanding this completely changed Eleanor's view. She realized she needed to prioritize sleep with the same focus she gave her diet and exercise. This meant creating a new sleep-promoting ritual. She started by setting a consistent bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends, to get her body's internal clock on a schedule. An hour before bed, she dimmed the lights and shut off all screens. The blue light from TVs, computers, and phones can hit the brakes on melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to sleep. Instead, she'd listen to calming music or read a real physical book. She made her bedroom a cool, dark, quiet sanctuary. She also cut off liquids a couple of hours before bed to reduce nighttime wake-ups. Sometimes she'd do gentle stretches or practice deep breathing. It didn't happen overnight. It took a few weeks of sticking with it for her body to adjust. But then, it clicked. She started falling asleep more easily and waking up feeling genuinely rested, clear-headed, and sharp. The mental fog that used to cloud her mornings started to lift. She had finally learned that a great day starts the night before, with the restorative, essential act of sleep. Eleanor had always thought of herself as a tough cookie, but she couldn't deny that daily stress, worrying about family, managing money, keeping up with the house, was taking a toll. She often felt a low-level anxiety humming in the background. The sixth secret she discovered connected this exact feeling to the memory lapses she was so afraid of. The culprit? A hormone called cortisol. Cortisol is our main stress hormone. In a short-term fight-or-flight moment, it's a lifesaver. But the problem starts when stress becomes chronic. When we're constantly worried or overwhelmed, our bodies are marinating in a steady drip of cortisol. And this is toxic to the brain, especially the hippocampus, a key area for learning and memory. High levels of cortisol can literally block you from retrieving memories. That frustrating tip-of-the-tongue feeling? Chronic stress makes that happen way more often. Over time, it can even damage and shrink the hippocampus, making it harder to form new memories. Eleanor realized that managing her stress wasn't just about feeling better. It was about physically protecting her brain. She couldn't eliminate stress, but she could change how she to it. She decided to try meditation, which had always seemed a bit mysterious. Using an app on her phone, she started with just 5 minutes each morning. At first, her mind was a total whirlwind, and she felt like she was failing, but she stuck with it. She learned the goal wasn't to have a perfectly empty mind, but to just notice her thoughts and gently bring her focus back to her breath. Slowly, she felt a change. The background hum of anxiety got quieter. She felt less reactive. She also rediscovered the simple, grounding power of being in nature. She'd take her daily walk in a park whenever she could, focusing on the sound of the birds or the feeling of the sun. She learned a simple breathing trick: inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Whenever she felt a wave of stress, she'd just pause and do that for 1 minute. These practices didn't make her problems disappear, but they gave her the tools to handle them. By lowering her cortisol levels, she was creating a calmer, healthier environment for her brain. By taming her stress, she was lifting another layer of fog. By this point, Eleanor had built a powerful foundation of healthy habits. She was moving, eating well, challenging her mind, connecting with people, sleeping deeply, and managing her stress. Her final area of research was the world of supplements. The internet is full of wild claims about memory pills, and she approached the topic with a healthy dose of skepticism. What she learned was that while no pill can ever replace a healthy lifestyle, a few supplements act as helpful supportive players. But she also learned the golden rule: talk to a doctor before starting anything new. Supplements can interfere with medications or might not be right for you. Her research pointed to a few key players. B vitamins stood out. This group of nutrients is critical for brain health. Deficiencies in B vitamins, especially B12 and folate, are linked to cognitive problems. Since our ability to absorb B12 from food can decline with age, this was one she put on the list to discuss with her doctor. Omega-3s also came up again. While Eleanor was eating fish, a high-quality fish oil supplement could be a good insurance policy to ensure she was getting enough of those inflammation-fighting brain fats. Finally, a large study called the Cosmos Mind trial suggested that taking a daily multivitamin was linked to a modest benefit in memory for older adults. It's not a miracle cure, but it suggests that making sure you have a solid baseline of all essential micronutrients might be more important for the aging brain than we realize. Eleanor saw supplements not as the stars of the show, but as the supporting cast. Her lifestyle changes were the lead actors. After a chat with her doctor and some tests, she added a daily multivitamin and a B complex to her routine. It was the final piece of her puzzle, a way to give her brain every possible advantage. Eleanor's story isn't a fairy tale. It's proof that we all have the power to take charge of our cognitive health. Her journey from fearing the fog to finding clarity is possible for you too. The science is stronger than ever. A combination of healthy lifestyle choices can have a real impact on the health of your aging brain. If you found these secrets helpful and want to keep going on this journey with us, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you never miss a video. And now we want to hear from you. What's the one secret you're going to try this week? Are you going to start that daily walk? Add more berries and greens to your plate? Call a friend you haven't talked to in a while? Let us know in the comments below. Your journey starts with one small step, and sharing it might just inspire someone else to take theirs. When we first met Eleanor, she was standing at a crossroads, afraid of a future lost in fog. Today, that fog is gone. She's the same woman, but she's also transformed. She moves with a new energy and engages with the world with a sharp, curious mind. Her keys no longer mysteriously disappear. Names come to her with ease. She isn't just getting by, she is thriving, full of a vitality that has everything to do with her choices. Her journey showed that the secrets to a sharper memory aren't secrets at all. They are available to all of us, every day. Let's recap these powerful ideas. Secret number 1, move your body. That daily walk is like fertilizer for your brain. Secret number 2, fuel your brain. Eat a diet full of colorful plants, healthy fats, and lean protein. Secret number 3, challenge your mind. Learn something new to keep your brain building new roads. Secret number 4, connect with people. Meaningful conversation is a full brain workout. Secret number 5, prioritize sleep. Let your brain's cleaning crew do its job every night. Secret number 6, manage your stress. Protect your brain's memory center by finding your calm. And remember to consider supportive supplements, but only after talking with your doctor. The fear of cognitive decline is real, but a future of decline is not a foregone conclusion. You have the power to build a better brain. The journey doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts right now, with your very next choice. Choose to move, choose to learn, choose to connect, choose to build a sharper, more vibrant mind at any age.